Now, because of the view that Vipassana gives you wisdom, whereas Samatha does not give you wisdom, there is developed certain other wrong views. For example, that the jhanas is no use because there is no sati, no mindfulness when you attain the jhanas. And this one has got no basis. In the Majjhima Nikaya Suttas, it is stated that the Aryan Eightfold Path is to be cultivated one after another. The factors. First, you must have right view. And right view will lead you to have right thoughts. And right thoughts will lead you to have right speech. And right speech will lead you to have right actions, etc. And finally, right sati, right mindfulness, will lead you to have right samadhi. That means, if you practice sati mindfulness correctly, you must attain the jhanas, Now this is supported by a sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, where the Buddha says, the unskillful monk, he contemplates body, feelings, mind, etc., but his mind is not concentrated. The hindrances are not abandoned. In other words, if a skillful monk contemplates body, practices sati, body, feelings, etc., his mind must become concentrated. And the hindrances must be abandoned. That means he must attain the jhanas, Now, there is another sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, the other day I mentioned, was Majjhima Nikaya number 44, where the Buddha said the characteristic mark of samadhi is satipatthana. This is a very important statement. The characteristic mark of samadhi, of jhanas, is satipatthana. That means once you have the jhanas, satipatthana becomes automatic. But if you try to practice satipatthana, it's just like a person trying to practice concentration. It does not mean a person trying to practice concentration has got the 4 jhanas. Yes or not? You are only trying to concentrate your mind, You have still not been able to attain concentration. But when you attain the jhanas, then you have attained concentration. So in the same way, if a person is trying to practice satipatthana, it does not necessarily mean that he has got satipatthana. He's trying to be mindful. Satipatthana, by the way, means intense state of mindfulness. Because patthana comes from 2 words, pa and thana. Pa means setting forth, and it also implies going further. That is why normally pa also means extreme, intense. Thana literally means standing still. So it is also used to mean situation, condition, a state. So satipatthana means an intense state or extreme state of sati, not normal sati, not ordinary sati, an intense state of sati. And this satipatthana is obtained when a person attains the jhanas. Now, coming back to the point that this jhanas, when you attain the jhanas, there is no mindfulness. There is a description of the 4 jhanas. And in the case of the 4th jhana, it is stated how a person attains the 4th jhana, Normally it's stated in this way. And with the abandoning of bodily pleasure, and the previous, which is sukha, and the previous abandoning of bodily pain, which is dukkha, by the fading away of grief and joy, domanassa and somanassa, he enters upon and abides in the... So at the 4th jhana, the state of the 4th jhana is stated that a person has got complete purity of mindfulness and equanimity. Parisuddhi means complete purity. In other words, you cannot be more mindful than when you are in the fourth jhana. So how can you say that when you attain the jhanas, you have no mindfulness? It's completely different from what the Buddha says. And then there is a sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya where the Buddha says that satipatthana should be abandoned after you have attained it. And yet there are other suttas that say the Buddha's disciples, the learners and the arahant, they always abide in satipatthana. So in other words, when you cultivate to attain satipatthana, you cultivate until you attain it. But after you attain it, the Buddha said, abandon the practice. Why abandon? Because, as I stated just now, the characteristic mark of jhana is satipatthana. That's why you can abandon the practice of satipatthana, yet you still abide in satipatthana because it is automatic. That is the only conclusion, logical conclusion that you can draw. And then there's another sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya, in fact 3 suttas, where our arahant Anuruddha was asked, why is it, can you please explain, what is the cause of your great psychic power? What did you cultivate to have such great psychic power? Because Anuruddha said he could see the whole world system so clearly, like in his hand. He can see the galaxy like in his hand, his mind is opened up so wide. So when he was asked the cause of his great psychic power, he said satipatthana. And normally when you say psychic power, you always mean jhana, yes or not? Only jhana can give you psychic power. But here he says satipatthana. That means satipatthana is no different from jhana. Only when you have jhana, you have satipatthana. And then there's other suttas, for example, in the Samyutta Nikaya, there's another one where the Buddha says, by making much of the 4 jhanas, by cultivating the 4 jhanas, one tends to nibbana, one slopes to nibbana. There's always, you have the jhanas means you naturally go towards nibbana. And in the Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha said, the perfection of wisdom is the abandonment of the hindrances, which also means the jhanas.